This is Kenneth Brooks, and you ride down Beatta's Boulevard. It's a channel that I dedicate to my great grandmother, Beatta Brooks. She was the matriarch of the family. She was very inspirational and instrumental in my upbringing as an adolescent, a teenager, all the way to my adult life, and at 51 years of age today. And I thank God for this woman. I thank God for all the things I learned from this woman. And she was a very wise woman. She dropped out of school in the 3rd grade to help my mother and father with the field to survive. And she taught herself how to read and write, which was a major accomplishment. And she was a world-class seamstress. And she was very wise, and she had a lot of wisdom and understanding that was beyond measures at the time. And I want to dedicate this to Sister Ruth. And Sister Ruth from Atlanta, Georgia, may God, grace, mercy, and peace be upon you, my sister. May the God of Israel continue to bless you and your family, and may the God of Israel watch over us all. And may the God of Israel help us keep His commandments, laws, and statutes, and we gonna walk in His ways. And I love you, my sister. I appreciate your words. They were very heartfelt, and I appreciate your support and love. And I love you, my sister. May God's grace be upon you, my sister. And everybody who support me on this channel as well, to support my YouTube channel. I love you. All my subscribers and everybody who support me. I love you all, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you all. I love you. And I want to talk about something that's kind of hitting home today from a very deep standpoint. My grandmother grew a garden, and every year she grew this garden, and she had a plethora of things in this garden, and she had a lot of things that she would grow, and every year when she harvested the garden, I hated doing this stuff with her. She'd tell me, quit complaining, boy, talking about your back. You ain't got a back, you got a grizzle. I had to work in the fields to help my mother and father survive, and I had blisters on my back when I went to bed at night, boy. You ain't got a back. So I left that alone. I just went out there and did what she said to do, man. She just kept saying all that all the time. I didn't want to hit all that. But the thing is this, man, she grew a whole lot of stuff, man, throughout the summer, man. And we reaped the garden, and man, she had bags and bags of freezer bags full of stuff, man. And she was freezing in the freezer on her back porch in the deep freezer. And on the back end of her garden, she had another garden as well, about 20 feet away, and it was a garden with watermelon, cantaloupe, and things like that. And she said that the reason why she put the garden with the other garden, because she said that if she put those items in the garden, it would draw all the nutrients out of the soil, because it took so much water for them things to survive, and then it would draw all the nutrients out of the soil, so the other part of the garden would survive. And so she said, you gotta do that separately. And she said, you don't plant watermelon every year, you plant it every other year, so the earth can get a chance to rebuild itself and replenish itself. And she was very wise, man. And so she would pour salt and lime in that area back there after she reaped all the watermelon, and she would cultivate it in the ground, man, so the earth can get some strength. She was very smart. Back to what I was saying, man. She had a garden, and she gave everything out her garden to several people in the community, the church, loved ones, and friends, and she had a way of giving to everybody. She had a deep freezer that would be considered commercialized today, because it was a huge deep freezer. And in that deep freezer also she had like 25, 30 sweet potato pies. She made sweet potato pies and just put them in that deep freezer. And when somebody needed sweet potato pie, one of the sweet potato pie, she'd get them one out and they just throw it out, and it was just like it just came out the oven that same day, man. It was awesome, man. I'll tell you like this, Patti LaBelle, they had nothing on my great grandmother's sweet potato pie. And I don't even like sweet potato pie, but Patti LaBelle didn't have nothing on Beatta Brooks sweet potato pie, man. It was something serious, man. And I didn't even like sweet potato pie, to be honest with you, because I ate so many of them growing up, because she cooked so many of them things. And there was a lady on 3rd Avenue that she sent me to go see every so often. And she packed a grocery bag, not a grocery bag, but a garbage bag, a healthy garbage bag full of items out the freezer, man, and tell me to go take it to the lady on 3rd Avenue. When I get around there, every time I get around to the lady's house, she be crying on the front porch. And I couldn't understand why. I asked her, sister, everything okay? Everything alright, baby, everything okay. I said, okay, man. And so when I leave, I be puzzled by why she crying so much every time I come see her. And every time I bring her something, she always tell me, I said, thank you, baby. I love her so much, and I love all y'all. And I said, man, she called my grandma B. Everybody called her B. Etta. Miss B. B. Etta was her name. B. Etta Brooks was my grandmother's real name, but everybody called her Miss B. And so I finally got the nerve up when I became a senior in high school. After doing this for several years, I got the nerve to ask my grandmother, why was that lady crying every time I go to a port to drop off items you sent? And she said, because she lost 2 sons. I said, what? She said, yes, she lost 2 sons. She said, one son got lost during the Depression. She said, blacks didn't have nothing, they didn't have nobody to fall back on, so blacks were robbing each other, killing from each other, stealing from each other. They didn't have nothing else to fall back on because it was a Great Depression. It was treated so unfairly. But fortunately for my grandmother, she worked for a Jewish guy, and he was very fair to blacks, and he didn't like to see blacks suffering and things like that. So he sent my grandmother up to New York City to take care of his ailing mother. Instead of laying her off, like everybody else got laid off at the job, he'd find other jobs for you to do so you can try to survive and manage. But my grandmother had to go to New York City to take care of his mother who was ailing and her health, and he paid her $3 a week. I said, $3 a week, little mama? She said, yes, that was unprecedented money at that time. She was making big money taking care of this man's mother, and she used to make for like 65 cents a week as a seamstress at the time. And it was amazing, man, how people survived during those times, man. But my grandmother told me about this woman who lived next door to her. The lady who lived on 3rd Avenue, I had to go take the things to. My grandmother finally told me about, she lost 2 sons, and she just lived next door to my grandmother, and she said that during the Depression, people were suffering so bad, man, and they were struggling, and blacks didn't have no way to make it ends meet. And she said her son stole a batch of greens out the vegetable truck. It was to be a Italian man that's come in the neighborhood every week and selling vegetables to the African Americans in the community. And he was selling vegetables, and he had a vegetable truck, and the boy was starving so bad he stole a batch of greens, man. And that man pressed charges, and the people begged him to press charges. He pressed charges against that boy. That boy went to prison for stealing a batch of greens. My grandma said, well, 15-cent batch of greens. And he went to prison, and the last time the mother saw her son, my grandmother said, was 50 years ago. The last time she heard, he was in Mississippi, and then in Florida working at railroads while he was in prison. A 15-cent batch of greens, man, caused this boy to suffer over 50 years locked away. If he had survived that long, if he hadn't died. And it was amazing, man. And she said the family was starving, and he had to try to do something, and he got caught. The people asked the man not to press charges against the boy, but the man pressed charges anyway, and it was sad, man, that the boy had to go to prison for stealing a batch of greens, man. Black people are still under the curse, my brothers and sisters. We're still under the curse from Deuteronomy. And anyway, man, her second son had to go to war in Vietnam. He got killed in the war. And my grandmother made a statement to me. She said that's why she cries all the time, because a woman who loses a child never sleeps on a dry pillow, because she cries herself to sleep every night. And early this year, man, I lost my baby sister, man. I lost my brother and my sister back to back. And my good brother who I love, and my sister, my baby sister, I lost her in January. And I lost my brother last summer, and then my sister in January, and it was hurtful. And I had to go through that mental anguish. And it was funny because 2 days before that, I called my sister. I texted her about 3:16 in the morning, and I texted her. I said, "Sister, are you okay?" She said, "Yeah, bro, I'm okay, bro. What's going on?" I said, "Well, sister, I keep dreaming about you, and I just wonder, are you okay?" She said, "Yeah, bro, I'm doing fine." I said, "I just wondering, okay." She said, "Why you ask me, am I okay, bro?" I said, "I don't know, sister. I keep dreaming about you. I just want to know you're okay." She said, "Yeah, I'm fine." So the next morning, I texted again at 4:20 something, and she said that she was fine. And she said, "Bro, what's wrong? Is anything going wrong with you? Anything you need?" She thought I needed something, just didn't know how to ask. But that was not the case. I was really concerned about my sister because I kept dreaming about it for 2 days in a row. I couldn't get out of my mind. And she said she was fine. So the next morning she was gone, man. She died in her sleep, man. It's like I knew something inside of me, someone right, man. And my brother-in-law said she got up about 3-something. She used the restroom and did a couple of things, and then she laid back down. And she started snoring real bad. And he said she never snored that bad before. And he just got out of bed and got a shower and got his clothes ready, got ready for class. And he said when he got ready to leave, he said, "I'm gone now." And she didn't respond. And she was just up 2 hours earlier. And he said, "I'm gone now." And she didn't respond. And he went to her bed, and she was gone, man. And so it was heartbreaking, man. So my older sister told me that it was only fair that I'd be the one to break the news to my mother, because I was the oldest child, because they couldn't do it. And man, it was a long drive to my mother's house, man. I mean, she only lived about 20 minutes away, but it was a long drive. It was early in the morning, and my nephew met me at my mother's house, and had a key, and he opened the door. We went in, and my mother was still in bed. My other sister who lived with my mother, she was still in bed as well. And I went in my mother's bedroom, and she was just looking up at the wall like daydreaming. And then she looked at me and said, "Boy, what you doing here?" And she said, "What's going on, boy?" And I said, "What's happening?" She looked at some of my nephews. She knew something was wrong. She said, "What's going on? What's going on?" And I told her, my baby sister was gone. And her daughter, youngest daughter, was gone. And the pain, man. The pain that my mother was going through, man, it was it's unbearable to watch, man. It's hurtful to think about it right now, man. My mother was hurt so bad, man. It's like all life left my mother, man. All life left her, man. She had no life, man. My other sister came in the room and wondered what was going on as well, and I revealed to her that my baby sister was gone, and she fainted. She just fell to the ground and fainted, man. You see, my mother hurt so bad, man. It was so terrible to watch. And to this day, man, when I go see my mother, she's living, but she's not alive, man. Part of her is gone, man. My mother's gone. She talks and everything like normal, but she's not the same, man. And I think about my great-grandmother, what she said to me. She said, "A woman who lost a child never sleeps on the dry pillow, because she cries herself to sleep every night. A woman who lost a child never sleeps on a dry pillow, because she cries herself to sleep every night." God bless y'all, man.